Tonight, I unravel my sister's web of lies, I declared, my voice cutting through the glittering engagement party like a blade. The crowd froze, champagne glasses suspended, as my sister Vanessa stood radiant in her emerald gown, gripping the microphone with a smug smile. "Oh, Mia, don't be so dramatic," she scoffed, her eyes glinting with malice. "I was just about to name my maid of honor. Sorry, sis, it's not you. You're too plain to steal my spotlight." Laughter erupted, sharp and cruel. My parents, Edward and Clara, clapped like trained puppets. Aunt Beatrice smirked, sipping her wine. I stood by the dessert table, heart pounding but unbroken. After 42 years of Vanessa's venom, I was ready. I raised my glass and said, "To truth," handing her fiancé Daniel a small wrapped box. His smile cracked like glass. The music screeched to a halt. The room held its breath. Vanessa tapped the microphone, the feedback screech making everyone wince. "Oops, my bad," she giggled, her voice dripping with false charm. "I just have to share something with all you wonderful people." I lingered in the shadows as I always did at family gatherings, my pulse racing like a drum. "Picking a maid of honor is a huge deal," Vanessa said, her voice echoing through the opulent ballroom. "You're supposed to choose your sister, right?" A few guests nodded, unaware of her trap. My stomach twisted, she was setting me up again. "But I've thought long and hard," she continued, her gaze locking onto me with a predatory spark. "And Mia, I just can't pick you. You dull my shine." The room fell silent, the soft jazz in the background suddenly too loud. Someone clinked their glass nervously. I gripped my champagne flute, its coldness grounding me. "I mean, look at her," Vanessa said, pointing at me. "Dear little Mia in that, what, discount rack dress?" Snickers spread like wildfire. Mr. Thornton, Dad's business partner, let out a booming laugh. Mom hid her smile behind her hand, her shoulders shaking. "Vanessa," Daniel murmured, his jaw tight, but she waved him off. "Relax, Daniel, it's just a joke. Right, Mia?" Her words stung like a whip, coated in fake sweetness. "I need someone who won't make my wedding photos look like a before and after ad." The crowd roared with laughter. Aunt Beatrice raised her glass in approval. My parents beamed at their golden daughter. I forced a smile, the one I perfected over 4 decades of being Vanessa's target. But tonight a fire burned inside me. It was the small box in my purse, wrapped with care 6 weeks ago. It was Daniel standing slightly apart, his eyes shadowed with doubt. "So," Vanessa announced, "I've chosen my best friend Harper as my maid of honor. Isn't she perfect?" Harper waved, her sleek blonde hair catching the chandelier light, looking like a movie star. The crowd clapped politely. I used the noise to slip closer to the front, weaving through guests buzzing about private islands and stock portfolios. "Now," Vanessa said, setting the microphone down, "let's toast to love and glamour." Glasses clinked like a symphony of wealth. But before anyone could sip, I stepped into the spotlight. "Actually, Vanessa," I said, my voice ringing clear, "I'd like to make a toast too." Her smile wavered, then snapped back. "Oh, how adorable. Mia's going to say something sweet. Go ahead." I pulled a small white box from my purse, tied with a silver ribbon, simple like everyone thought I was. "I brought you and Daniel an engagement gift," I said, holding it out to Daniel. "Something you need to see." Daniel looked wary but stepped forward, his hands unsteady. He'd been drinking heavily, probably to endure Vanessa's theatrics. "How thoughtful," Vanessa said, her voice sharp as a blade. She hated surprises she didn't control. I raised my glass, feeling every stare in the room. Mom looked proud, expecting me to praise Vanessa. Dad glanced up from his phone, barely interested. Aunt Beatrice smirked, waiting for a punchline. "To love," I said, watching Daniel fumble with the ribbon. "And to secrets no longer hidden." The words landed like a thunderclap. Daniel opened the box, and his face drained of color. Confusion, then dread, then panic. Inside was a tiny flash drive, small but deadly. The crowd murmured, curious. "What's in it?" Vanessa asked, her voice tight as she leaned toward Daniel. He snapped the box shut, his knuckles white. The jazz music felt jarring in the tense silence. I kept my glass raised, steady, waiting. This moment was months in the making, not out of spite but survival. Vanessa had spent our lives crushing me, stealing my moments, sabotaging my dreams, turning every family event into a stage for my humiliation. Tonight I held the strings. "Show it, Daniel," I said softly. "Everyone deserves to see." Vanessa's smile cracked like brittle ice. She reached for the box, but Daniel pulled it closer. "Maybe this is private," he whispered, his voice trembling. "Oh no," I said, sipping my champagne, the taste sharp with triumph. "Vanessa loves an audience, doesn't she?" A guest coughed. A woman in a velvet dress whispered to her husband. The band stopped, sensing the storm. The flash drive sat in Daniel's hand like a ticking bomb. My mind flashed to a memory that fueled this fire. I was 6, standing on a school stage in a sparkly lavender dress, ready to sing a solo in the spring concert. Mom had practiced with me for weeks, praising my clear voice. I felt like a princess. But 2 days before, Vanessa, 8 and dazzling, told the teacher I was too shy. "Mia will choke," she'd said sweetly. "I'm louder." Mom agreed. "Vanessa's a natural," she'd said. I was reassigned to the chorus, hidden in the back, watching Vanessa sing my song to cheers. That was when I learned to shrink so she could shine. The pattern grew crueler. In middle school, Vanessa joined every club I loved, art, drama, chess, and took the lead. When I tried for the debate team, she convinced the coach that sisters would cause conflict. I was cut, she became captain. In high school, the prom betrayal cut deepest. Ryan Carter asked me to go, and I felt beautiful buying a sapphire dress. But Vanessa wanted him. A week before, I caught them kissing by the gym. "Ryan deserves someone fun," she'd smirked. Mom consoled me that night. "Vanessa saved you from embarrassment, honey. Ryan's too popular for you." I stayed home, my dress unworn, while they danced under the lights. College was my escape. A small state university far from Vanessa's elite private school. I joined the poetry club, published in the campus magazine, made friends who saw me. But in my junior year, Vanessa transferred. "I miss family," she told our parents. Really, she wanted control. She joined my club, became editor, and dated the guy I'd confided I liked. At parties, she'd mock my nerdy hobbies, ensuring I stayed the dull sister. After graduation, I moved to Willow Creek, a quiet town, and found peace at the local library. My apartment above a flower shop smelled of roses, and I loved reading to kids and helping teens with essays. For 9 years I was Mia, until Vanessa's visits began. She'd sweep into the library in her designer coats, heels clicking like a warning. "This is your job," she'd say loudly. So quaint. She'd brag about her high-flying marketing career, her city penthouse, her glamorous life, making me invisible again. The kids I read to would shrink back. The book club ladies would go silent. Her visits became torture, each one erasing the confidence I'd built. When she announced her engagement to Daniel, a tech heir, she didn't call me. A group text arrived, "Wedding of the century," followed by, "Mia, you can help with setup. You're good at boring tasks." That text was a knife, but it sparked my resolve. I was done fading. Planning my counterattack was a marathon. I spent nights staring at that text, plotting how to reclaim my life. The breakthrough came during a frantic call from Mom. "Mia, help. I can't upload photos for Vanessa's engagement slideshow." I found her surrounded by photo albums and a crashing laptop. "Vanessa needs these for Daniel," she said, stressed. I started uploading old photos of birthdays, holidays, always Vanessa center stage, me barely visible. The computer lagged and a notification popped up. "Vanessa Reed. Meet me tonight." It wasn't from a family chat. It was from Ethan Blake. "Mom, whose cloud is this?" I asked. "Vanessa set it up," she said, slicing apples. "She said sharing's easier." Another message. "Daniel's at work. Bring the wine." My heart raced. I clicked the chat, revealing months of secrets. Flirty texts, secret dates, photos that made my skin crawl. Vanessa wrote, "Marrying Daniel in 10 months. Then we cash out." Ethan replied, "You sure you can fake it?" "Easy," Vanessa wrote. "He's clueless. 2 years divorce and we're rich." I scrolled further, finding a message about me. "Saw Mia today. Still in that dusty library, living her sad life. She thinks I care about sister time. Free wedding help." Ethan laughed. "Poor Mia. Too slow to catch on. Keep her busy, she's useful." My hands shook with rage. Vanessa had chosen Harper as maid of honor to wound me, knowing I'd hoped for it. Then I found a video, clicking a random folder. Vanessa, tipsy in a hotel, laughed with Ethan. "Stop recording," she giggled, tossing a glass. That video became my weapon. I copied everything to a flash drive, my heart pounding with purpose. For weeks I played the perfect sister, helping with wedding plans, flowers, catering, venues, while Vanessa smirked, thinking I was her pawn. "You're finally useful," she'd say. I smiled, hiding my secret. I texted Daniel, pretending to help with Vanessa's slideshow. "Can you send photos and videos? I want to surprise her." He sent years of memories, trips, dinners, moments where his smile grew strained. I noticed his eyes dimming in recent photos, like he sensed the lie. I tested Ethan too, using a burner account. "I know about you and Vanessa." He panicked. "Who are you? What do you want?" I replied, "Just watching. She's not discreet." His frantic messages poured in, demanding answers. I saved them, watching Vanessa unravel. She visited the library more, eyes sharp. "You haven't gossiped about my wedding, right?" she asked. "Never," I lied, shelving books calmly. A month before the party, a twist emerged. I overheard Vanessa arguing with Daniel about money. "Your family's loaded," she snapped. "Stop whining about costs." Daniel looked worn, muttering about his company's struggles. Later, I found an email on the shared cloud. Vanessa to Ethan. "Daniel's getting suspicious. We need to move faster." My plan grew bolder. I added a new video to the flash drive, one of Vanessa mocking Daniel's business ideas, laughing with Ethan about his dull dreams. But there was more. Digging deeper into the cloud, I found a hidden folder labeled Backup. Inside were emails between Vanessa and a lawyer, discussing how to manipulate Daniel's prenup. She'd planned to claim emotional distress to secure a bigger settlement. The audacity stunned me. I saved those emails too, my resolve hardening. Then, a week before the party, I received an anonymous text. "Check Vanessa's phone records. You're not the only one she's played." My heart raced. Who sent this? I hacked into her carrier account, using a password she'd once bragged about, and found calls to a number not in her contacts. A quick search revealed it belonged to a private investigator, hired by Vanessa to dig into Daniel's finances. She was ensuring his wealth before sealing the deal. The night before the party, I practiced my toast in my bathroom mirror. "To truth and justice," I said, my voice steady. I chose a plain gray dress, knowing Vanessa would mock it. It was perfect, I needed to look harmless. The morning of the party, Vanessa called 7 times with demands. "Check the cake. Test the sound system, confirm the lights." "I'm freaking out," she whined. "What if it's a disaster?" "It'll be unforgettable," I said, and I meant it. Walking into the ballroom, I felt like a warrior. The flash drive in my purse was my sword, and I was ready to strike. Vanessa dazzled by the champagne fountain, blind to Daniel's distance. He stood apart, his smile hollow. She didn't see my steady hands or the box I carried. For once I held the power. Back to the moment Daniel held the flash drive. The crowd chanted, "Open it, open it." Vanessa laughed nervously. "Let's see Mia's little gift," she said, reaching for it. Daniel pulled back, his face darkening. "Vanessa, what's this?" he asked, voice low. I pointed to the projector. "Show it on the screen," I said. "It's for everyone." The crowd cheered, expecting romance. Vanessa's laugh cracked. "Mia, what's in there?" "It's probably nothing." Daniel plugged in the flash drive, hands shaking. The screen flared to life with Vanessa's face, laughing in a hotel room, wine glass in hand. "Ethan, stop filming," her voice boomed. The room froze. The real Vanessa turned ghost white. "Turn it off," she hissed, but the video played on. "Are you really marrying Daniel?" Ethan asked. Vanessa laughed. "Duh. His family's worth billions. He's so naive he thinks I love him." Gasps echoed. Glasses clinked as people set them down. Mom's hand flew to her mouth. Dad dropped his phone, stunned. The video continued. "Marry him, divorce him, take half," Vanessa said. "His dad's tech empire will be mine." Daniel stumbled back, his face raw with betrayal. His father, Mr. Reed, stormed forward. "That prenup's worthless now, Vanessa. Fraud voids it all." The screen switched to another video. Vanessa and Ethan, too close, dated days after Daniel's proposal. "Turn it off." Vanessa screamed, lunging for the projector. Daniel grabbed her arm. "No," he said, voice like ice. "Let's see what my fiancé's been up to." The crowd was transfixed. Aunt Beatrice filmed, grinning. The staff stopped serving to watch. The video showed Vanessa plotting, mocking Daniel's trust, laughing about her scheme with Ethan. "It's fake," Vanessa shrieked. "Mia faked it, she's jealous." But the evidence was clear. Then came the final clip, Vanessa mocking me. "Poor Mia, so stupid. She thinks I want her in my wedding. As if I'd let that loser near my spotlight." The room went silent, all eyes on me. I straightened my dress and smiled. Not the fake smile of my past, but one of power. "Guess we know who's loyal now," I said. But the flash drive had one more surprise. A new video played. Vanessa meeting with a lawyer, discussing how to exploit Daniel's wealth. "If I play the victim," she said, "I'll get millions in the divorce." The crowd gasped again. Daniel's mother, Mrs. Reed, pushed through, her face furious. "You scheming little," she began, but Daniel stopped her. He turned to Vanessa, voice deadly calm. "You hired an investigator to spy on me?" Vanessa's eyes widened. "How did you?" She stopped, realizing the trap. The anonymous text I'd received had come from Daniel's own investigator, who'd caught Vanessa's scheme. Vanessa lunged at me, nails clawing my arm. I didn't flinch, pulling free. "The cloud saves everything, Vanessa," I said. "Even your lies." Her face collapsed as phones recorded her meltdown. Daniel and his family left, the doors slamming. The wedding planner approached, clipboard in hand. "You owe $25,000 for the venue alone," she said. Vanessa's dream was dust, and she had no one to pay for it. My parents approached, and I braced for their anger. But Dad looked at Vanessa with disgust. "You hurt that boy," he said. Vanessa sobbed. "Mia ruined me. Mom studied me, seeing me anew." "Did you know about her lies?" she asked. "I found proof," I said. "Daniel deserved better." Dad nodded. "You did right, Mia." Aunt Beatrice laughed. "Karma's a showstopper, Mia." "Bravo." The room emptied, the staff clearing the wreckage. Vanessa stood alone, her makeup smeared, her world shattered. She glared at me. "How long did you plan this?" "Since you texted me to be your servant," I said. "You thought I was nothing. You were wrong." She opened her mouth, then stopped, walking out, her heels echoing like a dying pulse. Mrs. Chun, my neighborhood attendant, squeezed my hand. "You set the truth free, Mia." Driving home, I ignored my phone's buzz. Tomorrow Vanessa would spin lies, paint me as the villain. But tonight I was free. For 42 years I'd lived in her shadow. Now I stood tall. 7 years later, I'd built a new life in Seaview, a coastal town far from Vanessa's chaos. I ran the Seaview Library, where kids adored my storytime voices, and teens trusted me with their dreams. My cottage by the ocean bloomed with lavender and roses, my sanctuary. Mrs. Chun taught me to bake almond cookies, and we'd laugh over tea on Sundays. Vanessa vanished after the party, her reputation in ruins. She moved cross-country, working a desk job, no longer the star. My parents called sometimes, their voices heavy. "We failed you," Mom said. We didn't see her cruelty. I didn't need their words, but they healed a little. One day, Daniel visited the library, carrying a carved bookshelf. "You saved me, Mia," he said. He'd left his family's empire to build furniture, finding peace in wood and waves. We talked for hours, sharing stories of freedom. He showed me a photo of a table he'd crafted. I read him a poem I'd published. As he left, he said, "Dinner sometime?" I grinned. "Definitely." But the story twisted again. 3 years later, a package arrived. No sender, just Vanessa's handwriting. Inside was a letter. "Mia, I've changed. I was wrong to hurt you. I don't expect forgiveness, but I'm trying." With it was a photo of her volunteering at a shelter, her face softer. I didn't know if I believed her. The pain lingered. Then, last year, Mrs. Chun handed me a USB drive. "Found it in a library book," she whispered. At home I played it, a recent video of Vanessa in a diner talking to Ethan. "I'm done lying," she said. "I lost everything because of my greed." Ethan sneered. "You're quitting? We had plans." Vanessa shook her head. "I want to be better." The video ended, leaving me stunned. Was she sincere? The final twist came last month. At a library event, a stranger approached. A private investigator hired by Daniel's family. "We found something," he said, handing me a folder. Inside were documents. Vanessa had contacted Daniel apologizing, offering to repay debts from the canceled wedding. She'd started a charity, helping women escape toxic relationships. "She mentioned you," he said. "Says you inspired her to change." I sat with that news, my heart torn. Could Vanessa, my tormentor, be redeeming herself? Or was this another act? I haven't decided if I'll reach out. But as I stood on my porch watching the waves, I knew one thing. I'd won my life back. Vanessa's shadow was gone, and I was finally free to shine. Just when I thought the story was over, a new shock hit. 2 weeks ago, I received an email from an unknown address. "Mia, you think you won, but Vanessa's not done. Watch your back." My heart raced. Was Vanessa planning revenge? I hired a tech friend to trace the email. It led to Ethan, her old accomplice. Digging deeper, I found he'd been stalking her charity's social media, posting cryptic threats. Had Vanessa's change angered him? I contacted the investigator who'd given me the folder. "Ethan's dangerous," he warned. "He lost everything when Vanessa backed out. He blames you." My peaceful life in Seaview suddenly felt fragile. I installed security cameras at my cottage and kept the USB and letter locked away. One night, I heard a noise outside. A shadow moved by my garden. My heart pounded as I called the police, who found nothing but footprints in the dirt. Was Ethan watching me? Last week, I got a call from Vanessa herself, her voice shaky. "Mia, I heard about Ethan. I'm sorry. He's angry because I cut him off. I never meant for you to get hurt." I didn't know what to say. Her apology felt real, but trust was hard. "I'm trying to fix things," she said. "Can we talk?" I hesitated, then agreed to meet at a public cafe in Seaview next month. I don't know if I'll forgive her, but I want to hear her out. For now, I walk my garden, the sea breeze in my hair, and hold on to my peace. I was Mia, strong, free, and ready for whatever comes next.